We are once again alive upon the internet. And yeah, we do appear to be and yeah, jumping on for an afternoon upon this internet. Oh, yeah. And as the title says, we'll be working on some guides and recording some stuff as well. So I do want to record the only tips for the modifier, so we can edit that later. And then also, actually, I was thinking, which is dangerous always, of yeah. Although, well, we really need to have that actually. Mostly because in the end, nobody else did. Threw up the ball to a few people, but one of the things we should maybe make is a quick guide for the modifiers. And we might even make a start on that. Although the dangers is, of course, starting way too many guides and not finishing any of them. But for now, let's oh, actually, let me quickly do this. There was still save this. Come back to that later. Oh, yeah. Let's actually jump in first and get ourselves that project. Today we get the outfit, right? So let's get that done. See how that looks.
Safe area detected.
While we kind of warm up. And then later on we'll go and start our recording. What am I running on? Negotiator. Return hybrid. Already here, audio being broken. That should have fixed it, yeah. It's annoying always. Yeah, so on this account I'm still on yesterday's thing, so let's get that actually first done. We kill some outcasts. Let's go for that actually. We're gonna target it. Still nothing too good coming from that zone. Outcast. Do you have any like outcast in weird places? I have two sons in weird places. But no outcasts in weird places, but that's fine. We'll just go. Yeah, it's actually it's all gear mods. And neither have and then yeah, later on we'll go and record a little bit. Not that one.
Am I on guard duty?
Why the fuck are you on guard duty? Yeah, let's go assault over there.
Bored as hell.
This guy's just... Shut up, True Sun Defector. Let's grab this along the way. Might as well. And yeah, let's go do that control point. Can we avoid both? I think we can avoid both. Except my companion. It's annoying when something triggers in combat, even if it isn't actually with us. The certain drones do that as well. The guy just becomes fixated on fighting.
The tango's in there.
What? It's because of him.
They're wounded.
Sorry, please stand up. Don't aggro everything else yet. It's gonna be a little bit aggressive. Go away. Oh, he has commander. That's interesting. He never shows his health bar, of course, but there he had the things from commander. A red outline on the ground on that sucker hunter. And he did egg.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Moving in front of me.
Heavily armored hostile detected. Got that damn outcast.
How does it feel?
Easy enough. Oh, there's two of them here. Oh, actually, no. I have the one I want. Definitely. Oh, we need to actually layer. Also, we need to decorate this fountain.
Reinforcements incoming.
Actually, I'm not gonna go sit upstairs. That's too far away.
Incoming hostiles detected.
That's one of the nice things with Negotiate as well there. For instance, we staggered that one enemy out of their grenade, which is always fun. Is that something you would recommend? Not per se recommend, but yeah, I can work at. Coco doesn't care about what weapon type it's using, so yeah, you can go with anything. And shotguns are pretty effective. The range limitation will always be a thing. Right? Not every fight can be made to easily be a short-range fight. You can turn a lot of the fights into short-range fights, but sometimes it's just impossible. But then Coco actually works out because you can have two, you know, you could have a shotgun and an AR.
I think we're done here.
Supply room access.
And even with shotgun itself, as long as you're doing something that is close range, you can go Because I would definitely for shotguns consider going brazen plus pummel. And that's a really nice combination. One reloads you, one does a shit ton of damage. And it isn't he. And thank you so much there. I'll go with Flander. And thank you so much for keeping that sub going. As always, much appreciated.
Come on, do a sweep. Let's get this.
As well, let us buy some silly apparel. As we're kind of, for instance, here rocking the Keener one, although with some parts of the project outfit. And here I'm just catching up on this account. We didn't do yesterday's project and then today's one. I'll get us the full outfit. And once we actually have the full outfit, we'll take that outfit and go recording with it. As this afternoon, want to record the only tips for the modifier, which is actually, yeah, now that I've kind of got my notes fully together, a lot easier than kind of remember last season's one that was kind of going like, it's going to be a long video, but that was last season when we had five active modifiers that were all very potent.
Knew it.
Revenge is to be shot by me and die. That's a bad revenge. Seems like a waste of a revenge. Just gonna blow all that up because I want to take position here.
Nailed the bastard. Heavily armored hostile detected.
The rest is downstairs. Let's be downstairs.
Shit! He's too close.
Mark the other two and just go to the bus. Oh, 2 patrols. Up.
Vital signs critical.
The quick kill saving us there. But yeah, the quick kill, like as much as some people deride it, is actually a super powerful tool. Because that would have been dead. Or well, not that. It would have been a down. Because I have the companion now, but normally we wouldn't. But yeah, a quick application of the quick heal. They're saving us. Do we set up on the streets? Yeah. Let's be aggressive. That's a good spot.
Reinforcements en route. Detecting additional hostile contacts.
No way!
You just want to be close to me?
No! No!
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Let's get push. Oh,
Agent down.
this is bad timing for that. Oh, we're dead. It's barely.
This tactical rig is finished!
Heavily armored hostile detected.
Nice. That flame will get all of those.
Vital signs critical.
Maybe in cover. Take a game.
I'm gonna need new armor!
It's always annoying when they kind of spawn all around on that first wave. It's always nicer if they just spawn from the door there, but with control points, we don't have any control over, like, facing or trying to cheese it in some way.
Agent, hostiles are moving into Constitution Hall.
Well, they can have it. Oh, yeah, we got the gloves there, which we already saw yesterday. They're just gloves. I wonder if those are reskins. That's definitely just a retexture.
Supply room access unlocked.
Like just the military caps, but then retextured. Or one of the military caps. I'm just going to use. Yeah, it's not great. It's kind of the... Although the thing is, it's not bad. It's just Eclipse is better. And especially now with... Because it could have maybe one saving grace that I still actually want to... Like, I still haven't messed around with. Maybe I should at some point. But it wouldn't work out now anymore. With the diminishing returns on status effects affecting PvE. But a skill damage variant might actually make more sense. Because it's setting stuff on fire and then the turret itself doing the damage. Because it does two things. It sets stuff on fire and does fire damage, but it also hits the enemy. Kind of like Stinger Hive. It also hits the enemy and then bleeds them. Because of that, skill damage could maybe make sense. But not with the diminishing returns now. Because, yeah, they just... You reduce the duration on the fire and now they reach immunity so quick. Okay, back to hyenas. Oh, let's just go to control points. If we wanted to kind of speed run it, likely doing bank and just getting up to the first boss on normal. And just getting to the first boss and then wiping there. Killing the boss, leaving everything, you know, something else alive at least, and then just wiping on that boss over and over again would likely get us to 4 the quickest. But we're not in it for just the quickest. Although actually I don't have... we only have that control. Ah, we have these, yeah, actually. You know what, let's go... Yeah, let's go capture these two. Revive companion. I don't think they do, though. I don't think like they revive each other. Because quite often as well, there'll be like one random one down on the ground, and then your companion doesn't go and revive that one. Warhand. Okay, let's recycle that drone. There'll be plenty of time for it to come back. Yeah, starting tomorrow, we'll start getting the weapon skins.
Nearby location guarded by hostiles.
It's a random guy spawning. Like, wait, is everybody pissed off already?
Serious trauma detected.
Well, actually, this isn't the great spot for the build I'm on. Well, that'll work out. It's always about the trade-off on negotiator, just like, do I spend more time marking or more time just shooting? Sometimes it's useful to
Guarding location nearby.
multi-mark. Sometimes also just... Drone, did you attack the thing I tell you to attack? Really fixated on that one. Nah. I was thinking of going and clearing that territory, but we're not gonna push too far anyway. And hydrants. And the store's already open. But the supply box isn't available there. That doesn't
Detected.
open up
Nearby
until...
location guarded by hostiles.
Yeah, this is always awkward because of the two sides.
Reinforcements
Like,
incoming.
where do I put my turrets? And the answer is honestly to just move it around a lot.
Incoming hostiles detected.
Just take it with me.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Oh, sniper.
I'm on him!
Push back.
Hostiles guarding location nearby.
Nice of the game to keep spawning on this side. Where's my guy? Over there.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
I'm on her!
Vital signs critical.
Oh god.
Watch it go.
Just want them to be suppressed.
Nailed the bastard!
Serious trauma detected.
Can't move here.
Gas can there. Not gonna work out for me, is it? Most likely.
Detected. Nearby location guarded by hostiles.
There we go. Let's get our loot. And then let's just go to the other control point. Yeah, let's not fight that. Just gonna do that. Yeah, let's just come from this side. I need the ball. Best tank build depends on how you define tank and what the purpose is. Because yeah, full-on tanks, like actual mostly blue-statted tanks and stuff, are only really useful for Iron Horse raid. That's really the only place you'll see those. But then builds that are tanky, yeah, the tech tanks. I like those a lot from solo play. They're tanky, but they're not tanks to the same degree as some other stuff. Because in general, in Division, there isn't too much use in going too tanky.
I'm tougher than I look. We'll defend ourselves.
And actual tanks are very limited in their use cases. If you aren't familiar with it, I'll link to the recommended here. And yeah, the tech tanks, they're actually not too far down. And for good reason. It's because I do like them a lot. But there we're just, yeah, taking a memento and especially taking a shield that becomes pretty strong. And then pairing it with a gear set towards damage and such.
Used to be a supermarket greeter. This is the
Blow all this up. Some movement space.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
How do you deal with that? And turret, could you aim at stuff that you can shoot at? I should have put it more this way, actually. Oh, they're inside them. I'm trying to shoot the thing that they're trying to shoot. That's inside, it turns out.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
Let's not allow that medic escape.
Gotta fall back!
Where's this guy going?
Huh?
Sure, fine. Let's just die to my drone. Anyway, now the loot's up there. Well, actually, yeah, let's defend. Let's not push forward, actually. Let's just defend from back here. And hit a theory. Always annoying to try to get that on top of there.
Reinforcements en route.
But yeah, there's a good place for it because then it's forward.
Detecting additional hostile contacts.
Those guys are not part of the defense here. Come from there.
More of them coming! Tango down!
And the shield guys are always nice for spreading negotiator off of.
armored hostile detected.
Oh,
Reinforcements
responding
in
back
place.
there. It's actually outside of 100 meters, I think. Oh, no, they're responding. Medic? No medic. Especially with the name down the field. Just mark everything else and then... Seems to be that guy you just revived.
Next shot will kill you.
It's revived today.
We have to kill them.
There's one guy out there. Well, we're out here, might as well loot this first.
Supply
Oh,
room
yeah, that
access
also got
unlocked.
us the outfits. Hmm. Yeah. Donated, but also it's nothing special.
That's awesome.
Oh no, nothing special.
Things have improved since you arrived.
Okay. We need to guard this place. We can do.
This gate actually is also somewhat random. Sometimes it's that gate, sometimes it's this gate. It doesn't seem to follow any... Well, at least no easily guessable reason as to which one is what at what time. Yeah. What would be a good spot for intro? Kind of thinking somewhere where there is some true sun something.
Hyenas are holding some medical personnel.
Shut up. It's maybe one of the True Sons missions. Or we could have a True Sun one trying to go in here and have that like the the True Sun thing. And the body's there right now. Is that area free accessible? I think it actually is, right? So I should go have a look. Lincoln doesn't have much in the form of like flags and stuff for them. I was thinking more of we've used that already. For instance, in American History Museum, like the big flag that they've like written over. Lincoln doesn't preserve much in the form of a True Sons flag or True Sons.
They're in here.
I need a carbon. Indeed, happy Friday. Oh, this is free access. Okay, nice. So thinking, yeah, use this. Put our guy in front of it. But they need to be out of combat. Thank you. I should go with. Let me just striker backpack. Yeah, I'm gonna show my inventory, right? Let's go get cleaned up. Or we're gonna go through the inventory into there, so. Or oh, you mean for the objectives thing? I was just going
Something
for
specific?
control points.
You happy?
Just
Okay.
because I wanted to do control points. But I'm well aware on which missions to do for what. Don't worry. We've had exactly this already several times. These are solved. These are solved conundrums.
Ready to make a deal?
You do bank for hyenas if you want to, and
I
then
appreciate
yeah,
your business.
normal Lincoln for the true sense. And you can just wipe on a bus. You can just keep wiping on a bus and getting the things. Oh, yeah. Let's go back there. I mean, yeah, it's a fun mission. And I've done that as well for some of the other ones. But also, yeah, I'm like caught up now. True Sons is gonna be tomorrow. But no, here I'm also for the companion thing. I'm looking for a place that has kind of something true sunny. Oh yeah, for instance, there's something true sunny. And we're gonna make use of that. Although maybe I should dress up as True Sun as well then, instead of this. Yeah, let's go for something True Sun adjacent. Although actually I don't think this character has. We go True Sun Redeemed. Also, although is that an outfit or is that a? I think that's separate pieces, right? Oh no, that is. Why? Yeah. Major Sergeant wasn't an outfit, right? It was separate pieces. The Sergeant, Tom Sergeant. Yeah, let's just go through Sons Redeemed. Then let's go from, yeah. Showing a different character, I'd have True Sons Redeemed. We just go to them. Just looks so kind of wide. That those pants. You know, of course, my voice definitely going like, "Oh, you want to record something? I'm out." Yeah. Maybe you have something there, yeah. You don't hate that. Oh yeah, let's go with that. We'll be true sons buddies. Now, what I want to somehow, actually, that was how. No. Damn it.
Gonna take him out.
No, we're gonna outdistance them. Just gonna run far enough away to despawn them.
Hostile control point identified.
That should be around there-ish. Because I got out of combat after 110, but that doesn't still despawn them. Well, most of the time. Kind of depends on some other stuff. But then you need to go a little bit further to actually despawn them. I'm here. Stand in the light. Yeah. Now face this way. Hey. Almost perfect. Now stay there. Don't move. Hmm. Sure, let's take the thumbnail here. Gonna look forward for a second. We'll take this as our kind of like that actually with the founding fathers on the guarantee. Likely use that for a thumbnail. Then here, just pull that out. Looks a little weird holding an MG with one hand, just pointing that. Oh, yeah. And hit the red. Oh, yeah, let's set up here. And then we're gonna go do some recording, as the title says. Oh, where's the thing here? So global modifiers, then journey and how to get the modifiers. So main modifier active, passive, hostile. That order. Oh, yeah. Actually, maybe we talk about recruiting separately. Because structure-wise is a little different than last season with the actives. Let's record the intro first while we have peace and quiet still, because that might change here. uh, yeah. 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 Just trying to fidget him into the right spot. Didn't hit you, dude. No, yeah. I want this shadow to be behind them if we can. That looks a little cooler. Oh, yeah. Let's make it even brighter. You can see his footsteps. Maybe we don't show the ground too much. There we go. Yeah, let's record an intro. So I'm like, yeah, only tips, global modifier, command link. Hey, year 7, season 3. Yeah. Yeah, let's get it going. Yeah. Hi, am I? Whoa, wow. I couldn't. There was no power in the voice there. Shoot. Let me get up here. So with just go that is easy. Oh yeah, that will work. All the way, Cheska. Because I'm guessing that's the chess slot. Equalizer is overall kind of for the obliterate side of things, and then sacrifice for glass side of things. And pristine for focus side of things. Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's go. Although I refill that just to have that. Oh, yeah, let's get a little louder for recording. Yeah, let's go. Hi, I'm IKEA, and I'm here to give you only the tip. Today on retaliation. Why did my mind go retaliation? Because I also retaliation is kind of on my head for an only tips, but yeah. Hi, I'm IKEA, and I'm here to give you only the tip. Today on the global modifier for year 7, season 3, called command link. Yeah. Make sure audio works fine and stuff. Give you only the tip. Today on the global modifier for year 7, season 3, called command link. Yeah. Wait, I did say year 7, season 3, right? Called command link. For year 7, season 3, called. Yeah. So there I wasn't sure if I said. Yeah, so we do it. So, yeah, then. Yeah. And this entire seasonal modifier is structured. We'll be retaking a bunch of parts here and there. But I'll be doing like short segments. So, but yeah, we'll be redoing parts as I kind of stumble through words. Sometimes I just retry. With the only tips, I try to keep them a little bit more as if they're scripted, but they're still not scripted because that would be too easy. Still want to make them too hard. Yeah. And this season's modifier is structured around the companion system. So we are getting some True Sons companions this time. And what they can do for us is that they are an ally in fights. They each have their own distinct abilities, not attributes. And this seasonal modifier is structured around the companion system, as we are getting some True Son companions to follow us around and do some fighting for us. They are somewhat capable. They're not super great, but they also preferably aren't, of course. They shouldn't take our job. But they are actually pretty good decoys alongside of us. Some of them can do decent damage. They all have abilities that they can use, which can be useful in certain situations, and they give us bonuses as they do so. So we'll be going over what the companion can mean for us, but then also, of course, we still have some passives and some actives, even though the actives are mostly the companion system. And we'll go through the command link itself, which can provide us bonuses if we use it either with or without the companion. Yeah. That's fine. Just it's kind of the intro into that. It's annoying that this shows up here, especially when there's like when it doesn't load correctly instead of our normal that. Because now also like this annoys me, even though we want to start here. Let me catch up here. How does I'm now? I'm kind of used to it by now. I usually already had when playing video games, even like just with comms and stuff, I always have monitoring in my ears. That's also why when recording, I still always have headphones on my head, even if I'm just recording, without gameplay and stuff. At this point, it feels weird when I'm talking into mic to not have it because, yeah, because if I do that, right, like it sounds way different, but unless you're actually hearing yourself, you don't notice that. So I'm so used to having monitoring there that that's kind of become normal at this point. Because also, if I don't have it, I'll start getting louder and louder and louder. Partially because also I like playing with voice, so I've quite often just with a mic in front of you and just playing around and just trying to do, because how it sounds in your head is completely different than outside of your head, of course, with doing weird voices and stuff, because we can kind of go like this or we can go like this. Right, like but if you're not doing that with a mic, it's kind of hard to tell what's actually happening. You're kind of trying to that's kind of mess with it. Oh, yeah. Let's go back here. And as with all global modifiers, they are tied to this section in our inventory. This is the Isaac brick. In here, we can go into it and then have our passives, actives, and the global modifier show up. As with all global modifiers, we need to activate it. We can toggle it on and off. It is intended that you cannot have a global modifier and a global event at the same time, but there is, of course, some ways around that, as a lot of people have accidentally as well discovered. But out of combat, you can activate and deactivate the global modifier. When you do, you will get the main command link right away, even if you don't have actives or passives, because you will start without. There's also a passive section tied to the global modifier that you do need to recruit allies for, and we'll explain that in a minute. But overall, yeah, activating it turns on the global modifier, and of course already as well turns on the hostile modifiers, and they'll be active right away. I need to talk faster. Let's do that section and actually be in like only tip speed, because that wasn't in only tip speed. Where'd you go? Oh, because I deactivated and activated you. Go stand there. Get back. Yeah. And as with all global modifiers, they are tied to this section in the inventory, the Isaac brick up here next to our specialization weapon. When we go into there, we can see the main global modifier. We can see and adjust our actives and our passives. And of course, also view the hostile modifiers by going into this section. We can activate and deactivate it outside of combat at any time. It is intended that we can only have a global modifier or a global event on at one time, but there is, of course, ways that a lot of people will have already accidentally ran into where we can have both sometimes. By having the global modifier on, though, it should deactivate the global event. But outside of combat, we can deactivate it and activate it at any time that we wish. When we activate it and starting out, when you don't have the active or passive modifiers yet, even though the actives are pretty quick to get, as we'll explain in a minute, you will already get access to the main global modifier, which alongside of the companion can give us a bunch of bonuses. And then there's also a passive section to it. All of these will be active right away, and then also together with that, the hostile modifiers, as the second that you turn this on, will be active. I kind of lost it in the middle, but it's kind of fun. View the hostile modifier. If you have a global modifier, you don't access to the main. Let's keep that one as a maybe. This just one more time, real quick. Gee. Now I keep despawning you by. Put that way. Get that way. Stand in the light. There. Actually, let's do it like that. Yeah. So yeah, let's start shit more like that. And as with all global modifiers, the section that we can control it in is up here next to our specialization weapon and above our weapons. We have the Isaac brick up here. Going into it, we'll always control our current global modifier currently active. And for this season, that is, of course, this command link. By activating it, and you can activate and deactivate it out of combat at any time, you can get access or deactivate it. By turning it on, we directly get access to this command link and its bonuses. We can get companions, and there are our actives for this season. Basically, the entirety of the active modifiers is actually our companion. And then we have some passives as well that we unlock through the journey system, and we can populate 3 of them here. By turning this on, of course, as well, we get the hostile modifiers instantly being active as well. But we also have this passive section. By recruiting multiple allies, multiple companions, we can get passive bonuses, and those can actually be doubled by deactivating the active and not having a companion out, meaning that we do have the modifier on, but we don't have a companion out. That can actually be useful in certain situations, and we'll explain that in full later on. But by itself, once we have a companion as well, we can actually get from the command link several bonuses as are listed here. That already makes it pretty worthwhile. And yeah, we do have to deal with hostile modifiers, but we also gain a lot of damage through here. Oh yeah, we'll go with that one. Oh yeah, so that's that. Actually, yeah, so we'll do it like that. Yeah, we'll just explain the journey one. We don't need to do... Yeah, we don't need to do... Journey is just passives this season, so we just include it in the passives section as to where you unlock these. Yeah. Let's go to the main modifier. Just read these. That was weapon handling. This was reload speed. That was weapon damage, right? Yeah. Bonus armor. And then we do the passive section separately. And the command link is what we're using to make our ally do things that we wanted to. I should call it companion. It's a companion system, call it companion. And the main command link modifier is the thing that we use to control our companion. So we do get a companion, we'll discuss in a second where they come from. But once we have one, we can use the button that is generally associated with the modifier. So in the PC version, that is T. And what we can use this time around is, instead of just having an active that we activate by just pressing it when it is available, or when it could be activated, or when its cooldown was over, here, instead, we're using it as our control module. So if we are aiming, ADSing, and pressing T, then we are making it so that our companion will target our enemy that we're facing, and then... kind of lost it a little. Let's go back. And then on the main global modifier, this command link, this is what gets us to command our companion around. Normally, we would have a key associated with the global modifier on PC, that is T, on consoles, that is, I believe, D-pad up. When you press that, that would normally activate an active ability. Here it is being used for a little bit more, as yeah, we have companion commands here. Aiming and pressing that button will make it so ADSing towards an enemy and then pressing that button will make it so that they will target that enemy, attack that target. When we hold it, each of the 3 different companion archetypes that we have has a different active ability. And if they have enough resources built up to do that active ability, they will use it if you long press it. This can only be done in combat and can't be used to start combat, which is kind of annoying. And then also, if we are not ADSing, we can make them go into cover nearby us. And also, if we are in cover ourselves, we can actually make them go into pretty far cover by effectively the same UI that we use for our cover-to-cover mechanic. We can actually command our companion to go forward towards the enemy. Also, alongside of that, the second we turn on the companion and we have one and it is active and out, anything that, some of the things that they do can actually reward them with both the command link points, that is what is used for that active ability that each of them has, but also some things, some actions can actually provide us with bonuses. So for instance, priority kill here, companion kills your marked target, that grants us 40% weapon handling and 10% rate of fire for 10 seconds. Especially this priority kill with the weapon handling and also the crossfire kill, which is both of us hitting an enemy and then killing them when they die, we get 25 crit damage for 10 seconds. We also have assist. You or your companion kill an ally attacking the other. That grants 15 weapon damage. All of those actually add quite a bit to our damage. Then also by itself, just reposition. A companion completes a move to cover order. So if we order them to a position, and also we can't per se order them to any position, it is only to cover. When they do that, it also grants us 40% a reload speed for 10 seconds, and that can be used at any time kind of to get this reload speed going, and that is actually already pretty strong. All of these are actually pretty powerful, and we'll be using a passive most of the time that will actually make this 15 seconds, so we'll have those bonuses for a little bit longer. By triggering some of these continuously, we do actually gain more, I feel, overall, than, for instance, not having the companion out and just taking the passives. These trigger often enough that my recommendation generally is to keep the companion out, as they are also a decoy, but that is especially for solo, where a decoy is kind of useful. Then we also have a passive section. And I'm going to cut it there. 308. Nice. We'll explain the lad in a little time. As for those coming in, I'm recording for an upcoming video, so I'll be kind of mostly focused on that, but then in between I'll be checking chat and stuff. So if you do have any questions or anything, feel free to ask. It might take a minute before I'm out of there. Yeah. As alongside of those bonuses that we get for doing certain things, we also have some passive recruit bonuses here. This is contingent on how many of the different archetypes we have recruited. This is per character, where the leveling on the companions is actually account wide, but this one is per character. And what this requires us is to actually recruit basically 10 different assaults, 10 different medics, and 10 different engineers to get the full bonuses. It is actually recommended to just go and get these bonuses real quick. There is actually a trick and a cheese to it, where you will have seen companions being in safe houses. If you recruit them in that safe house, and for instance, if you have an assault in the safe house and you have an engineer in that other safe house, if you jump between and you go and recruit that engineer over here, if you jump back, and even though it doesn't show that you can recruit that assault again that was in this safe house, you can go up to them, press the button to interact, and it will recruit them again. If you can find one of each archetype on a map by just going around and checking the safe houses, you can jump between those 3 safe houses, get it done basically, and recruit these 10, and then have this bonus already there, and then later on kind of pay attention to some of the traits that the active companions will have, because that then becomes important. By recruiting 10 of each, as we have done here, we gain 15% weapon damage at full, 20% hazard protection here at full, and 15% skill efficiency. That is when the companion is, or what this system is active and the companion is out, because these bonuses are doubled when the player has no active companion. There are 2 ways of doing this. In a group setting, basically not calling in if nobody calls in their companion. If you're loaded in a group, then yeah, it won't come out. The other one is actually just to unequip it, where we can go in here and just unequip our actives. We have no active equipped here. Because of that, they won't be out, of course. By doubling these, yeah, we get 30% weapon damage, 40% hazard protection, and 30% skill efficiency once we've recruited enough. These are pretty good passive bonuses. Overall, though, yeah, my use case for this, mostly, especially solo, is to keep the companion out. They are actually useful enough as a decoy. We still get half then of the amount we would get if they're not out. But actually these teamwork actions that we have here add up to be more damage overall in general play, by just sometimes sending them into cover, sometimes making them target things. But just by itself, this crossfire kill happens a lot, and this assist also happens quite often. All of those do make it so that overall I feel having the companion out, especially solo, is the way to go. In a group setting though, it is more beneficial, I feel, just to not have them there to get in our way. And generally in group settings, I turn them off and we just go with these extra bonuses. Trio 2. lastly, let's go over the rule set a little bit. Solo, of course, whatever companion we have, when we have one equipped, they will be out whenever we are out and about. We can't actually put them away. In the case of a group setting, the way that it works, only one companion can be active for the group. And there's then a 90-second lockout timer. So whenever somebody calls in their companion or somebody's companion is out, when you join a group, you would have a 90-second lockout timer. Then you can call in your companion. Whenever a person calls in their companion, it will be that archetype with the traits that that person has. And then also they are the only one that can actually command them onto target. So it can be beneficial if you have somebody in the group that is good with targeting the enemies and such. To have them be the one to have this out. But especially in random teams, quite often everybody's kind of just every 90 seconds it's going to jump to a different person as everybody just calls in theirs. This also means that this is actually inactive, for instance, in the season in Countdown. This is not active at all in Countdown, not even the passive, not even like, for instance, having the companion not out, but then having the modifier on. It is completely inactive in Countdown, which is quite a stark difference from previous seasons where, the modifiers generally have been on in Countdown. Likely done to avoid having any issues with this system. And alongside of that, whenever we do actually get any of the teamwork things, only the player that can target or has their companion out can target, for instance, enemies. If they, for instance, get a priority kill, they reward it to all players. So it is beneficial actually in sometimes to just have a competent player have their guy out and them kind of targeting him around and getting the team some of these bonuses. Actually, no, I'm saying that wrong because priority kill is not the one. Crossfire is the one I'm thinking. Because priority kill is issuing player only. Got that run. That was also good. I was kind of stumbling my words. And then let's quickly discuss the rule set for this companion system, especially in group settings, because solo, if you have a companion equipped, it will be out at all times. And then let's say that differently because and then let's discuss the rule set for this, both for co-op and solo. Firstly, for solo, when you have a companion equipped, they will be out wherever they can be, that they can't be out in shared spaces and safe spaces. And it is important to actually remember that for any testing you want to do with the system. That means that when we are at the range, especially, you don't have your companion out. So you'll always get the passive bonuses there. Same is true in, for instance, shared spaces, if you're looking at your stats. Then in group settings, we do have only one companion can be active for the group. And then there is a 90-second lock applies to when one is summoned. The way that this works is basically one person can have theirs out. When they activate theirs, it is a 90-second cooldown effectively on everybody else before they can summon theirs. Shared actions like Crossfire Assist and Buddy Aid and such and Collateral will be rewarded to all players. So if you share in, for instance, shooting an enemy that the companion is shooting as well, everybody will get Crossfire when one person basically does that. But then priority kill and reposition rewards are only for the issuing player. The way that this then works out is you can kind of have the companion out, but especially because we don't have that priority kill bonuses, which is the 10% rate of fire one, and the reposition award, the reload speed one that is pretty easy to trigger, that's only for the issuing player. And the other ones are pretty good still, but because of this, generally in group settings, we just don't take the active companion out, but we just take the passives generally. Also, in random groups, you have basically no control over it. If they have their companion equipped, they can call on it, and then it will be out. And then generally what happens in randoms is just everybody calls theirs on a 90-second rotation, which is kind of annoying, but it does behoove it, if you are kind of coordinating and you want to have the companion out, to have it be somebody that knows how to run the companion system. If they can get it so that we get more crossfires going and such, They will help the group, but yeah, those priority kills and such are only for the player issuing the commands. This is also completely inactive in Countdown, which is actually in stark contrast to other season modifiers where in Countdown they were still active, likely just to avoid the issues of do we put one per subgroup or such, or how do these bonuses then work, or keeping track of all of these bonuses as well. They have likely taken to just disabling this entire system. But yeah, in Countdown, where normally modifiers are actually a pretty powerful option, they are completely disabled here. $240. So that's fine. Yeah, let me catch up here. If do you use Heartbreaker Chest or Perfect Spotter? I would never use Perfect Spotter or Normal Spotter. So for Heartbreaker, that's not like there's no benefit there ever to go that route. Because yeah, the Heartbreaker Chest is so much more. Like Intimidate is the only thing that can compete damage wise. And then also the bonus armor, like because you're doubling your stacks, you're also getting more bonus armor. But yeah, I just would never use Spotter on Heartbreaker or a different chest than the Heartbreaker chest. Like the Heartbreaker chest is the good part on it. Pick that up, man. Yeah, it's one of my favorite pieces. So we use it a lot. Just, yeah. As was said there as well. Although for hardcore, yeah, for hardcore I use the Memento, of course, kind of tech tank style. But basically, yeah, just the tech tank layout. What I use for hardcores is mostly just the tech tank layout, but then just with a revive high. And then sometimes I go gunner as well and just give up yellow core if we don't have the artificer anyway. 5-tier shield still, but then also the armor on kill and then the Memento to kind of keep us alive. And the revive high to revive us. Because in hardcore still, you know, even the tech tank, sometimes you get downed. So. Yeah, so let's go to the active. Actually, that is the order of things, right? I mean, yeah, why would it be anything else? So that was the main modifier. Ooh. That was actually still maybe a little bit too long. Oh, it's 11 minutes. Yeah. Now let's start there. And then moving on to the active modifiers. For this season, the active modifiers are actually our companions themselves. So we equip different archetypes of them. We have Spearhead, Tech Line, and Quick Fix. This is basically Assault, Technician, or well, Engineer, Technician. Let's try it again. And then moving on to the actives for this season. The active is basically our companion. It is the companion system. Here we have 3 different actives that we can equip. When we do so, we select our companion this way. We have Spearhead, we have Techline, and we have Quick Fix, which basically equates to an Assault, an Engineer, and a Medic. And by selecting them here is how we basically select which type we want alongside of us. Each of them has their own benefits. For the Assault, they are much more aggressive than some of the other ones. They tend to be a little bit more tanky. And also they have an RPG that they can fire. That is their active ability. So when we long press that T button on PC or long press the D-pad up on controller, then they fire that RPG. When we use their active, each of them as well has a little bonus for us. And for instance, in the case when the spearhead fires their RPG and doesn't need to hit anything, as long as they fire it, we get 15% damage to targets out of cover for 10 seconds. In the case of the tech line, the engineer, we get 15 skill damage for the duration of the turret. And for the medic, we gain 15% armor on kill for the duration of their support station being out, which is actually pretty strong, even beyond the support station being able to heal us. This 15% armor and kill is actually pretty useful. Then also each of them has levels. Here we are already at level 3. For each of them, they all start on level 1 and have 2 levels to go through to get to level 3. What they get is when we level them up, we get extra effects. So for instance, here at level 3 with our spearhead, we are getting both the level 2 and level 3 bonuses. They're cumulative, and we get some explosive damage, and then actually they're not cumulative. Because no, is it cumulative? I'm not sure if the stats are cumulative, the effects are. No, because this is in 17 meters combined. But I'm not sure if the stats are cumulative actually. I could try to cut into that, but let's just restart. And then moving on to the active of the season. The active is our actual companion. Here is where we select which archetype is going alongside of us, or if none at all, by unequipping them, of course. Here we have the spearhead, the tech line, and the quick fix. They are basically the assault, the engineer, and the medic. They each have an active ability tied to them. On the spearhead, it is an RPG that they fire. When they do so, and that is that active ability, which is the long press of the button, of the T button on PC, and then the D-pad up button, the modifier button. When they fire that RPG, we gain 15% damage targets out of cover. On the tech line, they have a turret, and also while the duration, for the duration of that turret being out, we gain also 15% skill damage. And when the quick fix deploys their support station as they're active, we also, for the duration of it, we gain a 15% armor on kill. And that is 20 seconds, which is pretty strong. There's also a leveling system again this season. It is account-wide, so it's once per account. And it is actually pretty quick, especially now that they've improved it a little bit from the start of the season. There is a cheese you can do with it, and that is actually explained in the much longer in-depth look. If you're looking for the also much more in-depth look into all of this, I'll be linking that below, of course, as we've already done that for this season's one. This is the quick version. But here on the leveling, yeah, there is a way of basically making them revive you over and over to level them up quickly. But I feel nowadays, the way that they've increased the amounts that they get for kills and for doing command link actions with us, it goes quick enough that you don't per se need to cheese it really. If you run with them for a few days, yeah, you'll get it done. Also, each of these companions, when you recruit them, shows 2 traits, and you can basically choose. That is the system of why we recruit different ones, is that we can get different traits. Their traits can be actually very impactful. So for instance, here on my spearhead, I have plus 50% threat generation and plus 50% armor. And then also this 20% chance to instantly execute enemies below 20% armor. And this actually works for a lot of things, especially some of the more strong enemies can be sometimes deleted by this, which is kind of nice. With the leveling system as well, they gain effects as it goes up. And for instance, here on level 3 with our spearhead, we have gained 20% explosive damage and 10 meters blast radius. And also it leaves some burning around. For instance, with the quick fix, actually that leveling makes quite a difference because they have, for instance, shock ammo for the duration of their support station being out, which can actually be very nice and pretty effective if used smart. The command link cost is that command link points that we got from all of the actives, or actively using the command link and getting those actions going. Whenever we got those, there was a listed command link reward basically, and the same for them just getting some kills. And the cost is listed here for each of their actives. So this is how much it costs to use their active. Each of them also has, their health and damage stats here. They are affected by some things. So, for instance, their damage is affected by overdogs, for instance, and that can be pretty strong to run alongside of them. Their armor here stated is actually with any traits included into it. One recommendation that I'll give here is to not take anybody that has grenades, because what I find myself the victim of quite often is that they'll, after basically combat has ended, toss a grenade towards where a loot pile now is, but an enemy was a second ago, and they'll catch me in it. And that can be pretty painful and sometimes even deadly. So generally, I try to avoid them having grenades, and I generally go for traits that increase their armor mostly. That's the one that I prefer the most, as I send them towards the enemy to be kind of my decoy for combat. Overall, all three are well worth using. I find myself using the Spearhead the most, as they seem to be the most combat effective. The quick fix can also be really strong, especially once you get that shock ammo, and for certain fights where you know there's going to be a bunch of enemies, just getting them to get their support station out, more so for just getting them also being a CC, effectively a pretty powerful CC tool, makes it pretty nice. Also, while their active is active, I'm also getting their 15% armor on kill, which is very strong. But quite often, I just want to assault, and I make them fire their RPGs quite often and try to get this 15% damage targets out of cover out of it as well. We jumped all over the place. Onto the active, but I still don't hate it. We I was kind of disjointed, but it's fine. Although nowadays also consider unit. Unit actually has my preference over Cheska nowadays on Heartbreaker. It's not a big difference there. Stacking though, you just stack. You just have to go and still get stacks with ACS. Thing is though, you can always go with that's why quite often as well on hardcore, actually I go more with Striker. That's like, I don't mind the Heartbreaker, but the Heartbreaker's real effectiveness is in being more aggressive, which on hardcore you don't want to per se. So I find myself using the Striker more. And then just Striker, tech tank, so Obliterate Chest, Memento Backpack, rest the Striker, and then tech tanking it. But then without the Artificer. And then just revive that. Let's go to passives. Actually, you know what? You come back here again. And next up, we'll go to the passives. First, let's discuss where we get them from, because they are not, while we recruit allies for our actives effectively, that is not where we get our passives from. Our passives are from the journey, and they're actually tied to claiming the reward on 2, 3, no, not 2, 3. I've corrected that, but let's just redo it. And then let's go to our passives. Well, the actives, of course, when we recruit one of those allies, and we will get a mission actually to go and recruit one of the assault Spearhead. And then let's go to the passives. Unlike the actives, where we'll also even get a mission to go and recruit one Spearhead right away when we kind of log in, the actives are that by recruiting some companions. The passives are still tied to the journey here. So under journey mission 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We have a bunch of the passives tied to them. We have to claim these, and they are no longer actually underneath some of these passives. The passives aren't under some of these challenges. Let's try again. Words, they're hard. And next up, I'm still laughing. Oh, also Holy Sun. Suddenly see just holy laser on my face. Yeah. And then moving on to the passives, where with the active, actually we'll just even get an side mission to go and recruit one of the spearhead archetype starting out, and that'll be basically when you log in. For the passives, we have to go to the journey where we can claim them alongside of some of these journey mission rewards. On journey mission 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and that's also the reason that I've claimed all of those, we see some of these passive modifiers here. You don't per se need them for this season, as yeah, in general, it is kind of recommended, and we'll likely see that again this season. Towards the stretch goals, these journey missions can be quite a lot of season XP, and the stretch goal system is usually based upon that. By saving these for the end of the season, you can claim them then, and that can be pretty valuable as it will give you several caches and several pages worth of the stretch goal pretty quickly. But here, just for trying everything out, of course, I have claimed them. They are no longer underneath some of these challenges. You actually have to claim them to get the reward, which I hope next season they go back to it being the other way around. And then, yeah, when we claim them, we get the ones listed here. There is 3 different categories when it comes to these passive modifiers. They're divvied up into 3. There's defense, there's tactics, and there is offense. We won't go over all of them. If you want that, again, the in-depth look, we go one by one and explain each of them. The ones that I find myself coming back to, and basically the one that I've always have equipped, is this command discipline. This is your command link buff durations last 50% longer. This is those, for instance, when we priority kill an enemy, where we target our ally, our companion onto an enemy and they kill them. We get that rate of fire bonus. That would normally be 10%. Now it's 50% longer, so we get 15 seconds out of it. That makes it so that, yeah, those durations go up by 50%, and that's quite a lot. Instead of the 10 seconds, having 15 seconds of extra rate of fire really does make a difference. So this one I have basically always equipped. Then we have a bunch of choices we can go with. One I find myself using quite often is this priority channel, where we do get a little bit more command link buildup. And this especially alongside of having, for instance, traits on your companion that builds them up a little bit quicker, makes it so you can use the active much more regularly. That can be useful if you do that. You have to actually be using that active regularly, because yeah, otherwise the command link doesn't, the command link percentages build up. They don't do much unless you're using the active. That's the only resource they're being used for. They don't make your allies stronger, nor you just by themselves. Another one I find myself using quite often is this target paint, where they will pulse the enemy that they're shooting at, making it, first of all, easy to spot which enemy they're shooting, for instance, for getting a crossfire, but also by them just pulsing the enemy when they damage them, reveals the enemy to you, of course, as well. And you can see what they are, what archetype they are. This no escape is the only one that really adds a little bit of damage, but it is a little bit of damage. We only get 15% of headshot when you and your companion aim at the same target. We don't have to be shooting at them. Just by targeting basically our companion onto that enemy, we can get this 15% headshot damage extra. It is one of the minor increases to damage that we have here available, but yeah, not a big one. Overall, a lot of these other ones aren't per se weak, but they don't come highly recommended. For instance, this status effect one can make your companion kill a lot more quickly, and that can be actually strong, especially if ran alongside of an ongoing directive. But yeah, generally I don't find myself using many other ones, even though some are pretty strong and some can make your ally quite tanky. I find myself mostly, especially using this command link buff to increase our duration on those command link actives. There we go. Kept it brief. 4 minutes still, but... Hmm. And lastly, alongside of all of the things that we get, the enemy, of course, gets something too. Otherwise, it would be a little bit boring because we would just be more powerful than we normally are, and we wouldn't have anything more powerful to deal with. The main one to kind of consider for this season as our nemesis, even though it has actually been reduced by quite a bit since the start of the season, is this commander. This will be a blue mark on the enemies. They will have this icon above them. Whenever they do, they have 40% damage resistance and also 25% more damage. At the start of the season, this was 60% damage resistance, and yeah, that felt like a lot. That made them quite a lot more chunky, and still at 40%, especially if you get an LMG guy, a heavy gunner guy with this above their heads, it is always one of those moments of But yeah, for most of it, it's the 40% is much more manageable than the 60% that started it with. One thing you can do to actually negate this is if you do have your companion out, if your companion and you shoot it at the same time, you will actually remove that damage reduction for a short amount of time. So basically getting that crossfire going. Also, killing him disrupts buffed allies and grants plus 20% crit damage. And that's basically they have a radius around them that buffs other allies for 15% damage. But yeah, we get 20% crit damage as well when we kill them. And that 10 seconds is actually pretty good for that amount. Then we also have fire teams. This will be 2 enemies that spawn together. They will have red icons above them and a red line going between them. These 2 linked enemies share a 20% damage resistance, and the 20% is actually pretty weak. The 40% is definitely felt, the 60% was definitely felt, the 20% is not a big difference. But when we kill them as well, what we get is actually a very strong 3% armor regen per second for 20 seconds. And yeah, this can be a really good healing mechanic for ourselves. And I find myself quite often, yeah, when a fire team spawns, kind of killing them first and then being extra aggressive, because 3% armor regen, that is effectively the same regen that we have from a memento. And then, of course, we can have it on top of a memento. But yeah, you do need to encounter this type of enemy, this duo of enemies, and then kill them. Another thing you can do is actually, if you damage both of them within 4 seconds, you break the link and then also trigger an 8-second vulnerability window. One thing that seems to be the case is when you break their link, yeah, you actually don't get this 3% armor regen on kill, which honestly is more of a prize that I tend to go for. Lastly, we have this jammer, and yeah, this means that it's slow when this enemy is around. Their icon actually doesn't show until either your companion targets them, or when you kill them, it will basically be revealed that they were a jammer by disrupt happening from them. These jammers have a yellow icon when your companion is targeting them. They will slow command link gain, so just how quickly we can get to that active, and also they disable the passive modifiers. As we discussed, the passive modifier, I especially use them to get either more command link or to get the longer duration. So it is actually useful to take care of them if you can spot them. One of the effects that they have as well is that intermittently, and especially when they kind of like spawn in, they will actually for a second kind of have a yellow circle going around them. So they can sometimes be spotted by that. It's very infrequent and just shows it for just a few frames and then it goes away. By spotting that, yeah, you can kind of take care of them and get your passive modifiers, especially for lengthening that duration. Yeah, it can be quite handy. Removing them, yeah, returns everything back to normal. And when we also kill them, we get 35% skill haste for 25 seconds. And that can actually be pretty useful for the skills that we get alongside of it, of course. And also they will trigger a 7-meter EMP blast when they die. Overall, none of these are per se too hard to deal with, especially Commander is one to watch out for. They'll be buffing their allies alongside of them. They themselves do, actually that 25% more damage is definitely felt, especially on things like tech tanks. Their damage reduction is no longer as big as it used to be. That 60% was maybe indeed a little bit too much damage resistance. At this 40%, they're very manageable. And when we kill them, we get our bonuses, some bonuses from them. That 20% crit damage, the 3% armor regen, and that skill haste all are actually pretty nice. There we go. It's not a long one, is it? You know what, let's just go with simple here. Oh yeah, let me actually go here. And yeah, for those maybe coming in, I'm recording, as you might have guessed, for a video about the modifier. The only tips on it. We've already done in the book. This is going to be the only tips on it. Yeah, let's go with that. Good. A little bit more here. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's get you up here. Although, well, just as a small correction, but just most people would rather know that, yeah, memento. As yeah, one of my pet peeves always with memento, but yeah, it's a memento with an E at the second one. It's 2 E's, 1 O, not 2 O's, 1 E. And I did great weight. The sand, I want to know what's the best way to use the NSA currency. I mean, well, reconstructed caches definitely in the long term. You would want to get some of the passives going, especially the armor on kill and the crit chance, and even the health on kill, actually. Early on, you kind of want to get those. You also want to get that fourth talent pick. That one's... although, yeah, I kind of need to... One of the things is, I need to actually get some pictures of some of those or like what the cost on some of them were. Eventually, you want to get all of those passives, especially if you're going to do a lot of it. But especially getting that 4th talent pick really helps quite a bit. The in-run, so that NSA currency one, or the like plus money one, whatever it's called, that is just for the in-run currency. That's not for the NSA tech, not for the permanent currency. And that one's super expensive because I think that one's like $250 per step, where everything else is like $50 per step, right? Or $250 for the entirety of it. But you would want that one eventually, as well, as it just gives you an extra reroll every loop, effectively. So, but that one's pretty expensive. But yeah, definitely the 4th pick, because that just gives you so much more chances of getting good stuff when you have the 4th talent pick. And then, yeah, crit chance and armor on kill and health on kill, especially. You would want to get the accuracy and stability as well. But maybe, yeah, you can buy some reconstructed caches before. Honestly, I would go for most of the permanent upgrades before going for the reconstructed and stuff like that. You'll likely, you know, if you do enough of it, you'll likely benefit more from just making it easier for yourself as you go through. Mm. And also, I don't know if you've been around the last few days, but actually I'll link to the guides in general. I've been working on a descent guide actually, so that'll take you to the guides folder. It's still in progress. It's still not finished. Definitely, it's still under construction, but you know, there's already a lot of stuff there. I will actually be jumping into writing a little bit more there. But yeah, I haven't actually touched on that yet in that guide, so no answer in there yet. I need to actually get screenshots of all of those bonuses at some point, but I need somebody else to actually do it. Because I no longer have them. The annoying thing is once you buy them, they go away. Anyway, glad to be of service. And also, yeah, I'm waiting for some of the better rotations. This slot is definitely, like, Gluttony is worse, I would definitely say, from just Nemesis run and Deep run perspective, but waiting for some of the good rotations. NV and Rat, especially, makes it a little easier to like spend some of those days there. Yeah, let's so modifier. And that takes us quickly through this modifiers for this year 7 season 3. These command link ones are actually pretty powerful. Having that decoy there makes a difference, and they can be somewhat effective, but also quite often they are a chore to kind of carry around and drag around. At least they don't yell as much as they used to at us, but sometimes, yeah, they still get in our way. But I find myself still using them more than not, mostly just to use them as a decoy. If you actually target them onto enemies and such quite regularly and get those priority kill ones and the crossfire kill ones, and also send them into cover here and there just to get the reload, you can actually benefit quite a bit from having the companion out. But of course, getting that passive bonus by just putting them away but keeping the modifier active while you have recruited enough of them, that by itself, of course, is also pretty strong. 30% weapon damage is nothing. It's also not the biggest bonus, not as big as last season's ones, definitely. This season feels a lot more tame from our end, as yeah, definitely last season was very overpowered. This season, not so much, but still worth playing around with. If nothing else, the companion system is kind of novel, and I hope actually that this is the first time of many attempts at this, as I would love to see in the future, maybe after, next season having not a companion system, them coming back a season later with maybe some, hyena companions or something, and iterating on this and playing around with it and giving us trying to make it better and better as they go. Because I can see a light at the end of the tunnel, but there's a lot of digging to do to get there, I feel. This system is enjoyable enough. It is at least different, and this season works out to be pretty powerful by itself, if nothing else, because we do have that decoy going in. And also all of the companions, as we didn't touch on actually, is that they can revive you, meaning that I can forgo running builds, I can forgo the revive hive, and then running builds that don't have it don't feel as painful. I've been finding myself running more turret drone builds and such just because of that, because if I get downed, at least I have basically an extra one up through the mechanic of this companion. Overall, well worth playing around with if you haven't yet, and well worth making. I'm getting rambly. I need to take it to an outro there. My brain was just kind of stuck in a loop there. And to conclude this, only tips on the companion system, the command link, the modifier for year 7 season 3. It is a pretty powerful modifier, especially because we are getting a decoy. And in gameplay, having an extra target for the enemy, especially solo, does make quite a difference. We didn't touch on it yet, but they can also revive you, and yeah, any of the archetypes can. And that actually makes it quite useful for builds that aren't running a revive hive, or actually just even on a red build, taking 2 skills that are useful and in play useful, and foregoing the revive hive. It can be somewhat trusted to have the companion revive us, as they try to do so pretty consistently. And also, unlike, for instance, the control point officers that try to sometimes revive us, they don't get staggered out of it as easily, or really at all. Because of that, they can be kind of trusted as a revive hive, and I've been enjoying using them like that. Especially if you use the system quite a bit, it is worthwhile to keep them out. If you target enemies, get that priority kill going. That rate of fire, for instance, from that for 15 seconds with that extra passive, that's actually pretty strong by itself. But if you find yourself not thinking about the companion, or not wanting to think about the companion, just putting them away and taking the passive bonuses by having recruited enough of them, that 30 weapon damage, for instance, and 30 skill efficiency is already pretty decent. We, of course, have to deal with the hostile modifiers, but then also when we kill the hostiles with modifiers, with their hostile modifiers on, we, of course, also even get bonuses from them. So it is actually a decently powerful season. Of course, in comparison to last season when we were super OP, yeah, it doesn't, of course, hold a candle to that. But it is definitely a useful modifier, and I've been enjoying actually playing around with the mechanic. As that is, of course, the idea behind this one is that we are getting a companion system in here. They are basically an extra skill, an extra drone effectively. But I can see, for instance, them working on this, and let's say maybe next season we just get a regular, let's say, modifier, and then a season after we get hyenas maybe as companions. And they can then reiterate on the system, keep playing around with it and make it better. As I definitely feel there is some light at this end of this tunnel, but there's a lot of digging to get all the way through it and get a functional tunnel out of it. But I do hope they do so, as I feel it is actually a decent addition to the game mechanics. Having that companion there does make a difference, but also sometimes, yeah, they do get in the way, and I totally understand people not enjoying the system. Overall, though, I find myself actually trying to make use of it, trying to get the most out of it, especially by targeting them onto enemies, by making them go into cover, and especially, for instance, with Pestilence, getting that 40% reload speed by just sending this guy into cover is pretty nice, and we can make it so much easier to reload that. Overall, well recommended to at least play around with the system. If you haven't yet, definitely go and get those passives from the main modifier there by recruiting enough of them, and then play around with having them out or not. So yeah, that brings us to the end of this video. If you did enjoy it, please do any and all of the algorithm things down below. It does help out, so I'll do that little bit of chilling here. And I hope to catch you in the future. And as always, have a good night. And yeah, that's for the video, for those being here live. That's just the outro for there. Yeah, that all looks good. There's only tips on the companion system. Yeah. What is combined duration? 28. Yep. That sounds like IKEA. Oh, I should have, we sprinkled that throughout. I should have, again, actually gone like, hey, in that look, somewhere over there. Yeah, let's go and play around a little bit more. So actually take this character back to base. Let me catch up here for a second. All of the ninja backpack. Should amend the fun head and the turmoil builds. I can stick just in the headhunter and such. The hotshot one. You just remove the knees and put that in, basically. Overall, I don't have one in the build collection, mostly because I consider that to be broken. I consider that to be unintended, beyond just, you know, some of the other unintended things. Because, yeah, the Headhunter kind of applying to two enemies at full level when they, you know, at best, it should be splitting them. That's what still would be super powerful with Thermal, but it applying the full Headhunter stack to both enemies. But yeah, just take a hot chat. And honestly, what you can do even is, what is this character's hot chat? It's no longer on slot 1. Yeah, you take this hot shot, and honestly, you can just stick a thermal here, and then even stick overdogs here. Because overdogs is also kind of broken with Headhunter. And hell, you can then even take a shroud if you want, but determined is, of course, pretty strong. But yeah, I consider it a little bit too far broken. And I wish they would kind of, because they fixed the double dipping on glass and stuff, but they never did the other side. Yeah, let's actually go back to putting this character into that RDA uniform. Although that's this, and wasn't it RDA something? What is this set called? RDA. Oh, why is it at the start here? I thought maybe it's because, maybe it is because it was exclamation pointed. Actually. So basically this is the full outfit then. I like it better with that actually. Wait, is it here as well? No. RDA, yeah. Oh yeah. And gloves. Yeah. So that's the outfit from the thing. But you know what? Let me take a quick bio break because I kind of need one. And then I'll be back, and then we'll go do some stuff. I'll be right back. There we go. Needed that. Yeah. Okay. Washed my face a little bit quickly as well, just to wake me up a little bit more. Yeah. Let's. Actually, wait, let's have a look at this. Anything special about it? Not really, right? Just likely movie accurate or video game accurate. That game is also made actually in Snowdrop, right? So they can just directly port stuff over. It's interesting that doesn't have a backpack or anything. Feel this outfit could use a backpack. Yeah, let's actually go to get character 2. It's their things and stuff. Get them caught up on the project. Can I ask about blueprints? No. You're forbidden. Of course. 24 left, 15 are available, but I seem to have 10 left to unlock, which doesn't.
Safe area entered.
Things self-show scans, duck, but I don't know. Not sure if you're familiar with the. Actually, it's this, right? Let me see what the command is. I should have done it on this side. Yeah, I'll pop up a link in a second. Because that's likely your best source to cross-reference with if you haven't yet. That's Doug's blueprint guide. So this kind of lists everything, so you can kind of cross-reference with this. I think, yeah, things like 612 and stuff are... Although it doesn't list anything per se special about them. But it might then be more Ds. Actually, what did you say about 612? Okay. Because yeah, honestly, especially with what blueprints now are available and stuff, I basically defer to this one because but yeah, if you're no longer getting any blueprints from, you know, the normal sources, then just 15 available backpacks.
Please do not run outside the safe area. Sudden movements may be misconstrued as a hostile act.
Because in general as well, there's going to be 4 missing. Not sure where. Because for instance, even if you have basically all blueprints, then still you're missing. Basically, in my case as well, I'm missing 4. Not sure if you're counting for that. There are basically 4 blueprints that completely aren't get handed out through any means. So the current max is 658. I'll say it. It's weird seeing it written out as a year 4 season 11. Because that was before they brought the yearing into it. But yeah, that's just season 11. Yeah, because that might get confusing actually for although most people will be able to like kind of recognize it. Yeah, there's a line with this, right? Yeah, and then that. Good, 2 chests, 3 backpacks, 5 weapons. Yeah. Yeah, but this is beyond even the missing one. So this is not me missing, having missed out on seasonal stuff or something. This is just these 4 are just not available through any source. They are still listed in here because yeah, 1 assault rifle. Because I think you have kind of similar, how was it? Yeah, you have 2 assault rifles, so you're still missing something there. So it might be SMG. Did Danny add any base ones here at some point? I think they did SMG 982, right? Although, well, actually, no, we don't even have SMG 982. But your best bet might be, because yeah, Doug has been much more invested in keeping track of those kind of things and such. Because also in my case, like, I had a newer character a few seasons ago, but that's also a few seasons ago. So, but you could try asking. I'll link to the Discord there. You could try asking in there in the help desk and asking, or even like at dog, doing it at dognets, and seeing if they can tell you more. But also, yeah, if you're missing 15, that sounds about right? Because you have 6 plus 6 plus 3 weapons. And then even Umber backpack, so that would be 16 actually. Oh no, you have one of the weapons. Okay, so they're done 15. But if that brings you to 658, yeah, that sounds about right. Like those are definitely Bellstone and Hunter's Fury are not available currently. And hopefully they fix that, but can I get the feeling I'm gonna run some more aces? Although what faction are we going up against? Outcast, actually. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, let's run some more aces. Even though it's not a good build. I like running it. It's silly enough that it works. Oh, do I care where we go? Not particularly. Let's go for Sleeping Jay. See what I don't know. Yeah. As if the count comes up to the 658 with those missing items, then you have everything. But yeah, you would just need to, well, at least everything that you can get right now. Let's trade this guy in.
I hate guard duty.
They hate guard duty. Now we know. Game, I just want the control point. Respawning elite patrol convoys, not even patrol convoy. Let's go take the high ground. Bring dark to the lightness. Oh, and there's an extra patrol. That was way too many rushers for.
Vital signs critical.
Let's call up our backup.
Reinforcements incoming.
I'm likely to not survive this. There's quite a lot here.
Serious trauma detected.
Where do you go over there? Be in front.
How the hell? Get back!
And a cold aim. What was my priority objective? Kill Outcast?
Objective available, Agent.
No, do an activity in West End, I think. So there was even, it wasn't just even an elite convoy. It was also just a patrol coming out.
I'll smash it. Come here, then.
It's actually not the greatest spot I picked. Could have picked somewhere where I had tall cover.
After them.
One down!
Heavily armored hostile detected.
Gotta reload.
Detecting additional hostile contacts.
Trying to get behind them. I'll watch your back. It's as good as gone.
And this setup is more about just trying to not per se hit head after head, but we just put out somewhat continuous fire and try to get as many of them to be heads.
Incoming hostiles detected.
There's a running focus here.
Oh, that hurt.
Detecting additional hostile contacts.
I need a new place for this rig!
You know, we're going to defense on this as well. I agree with that lady. Let's get out of there.
What the?
Got it. Reloading here.
See 2 items there, so that's likely the elite convoy.
Bring it! Get away from me! Mother! He deserved it!
Come back.
No way!
Good thing that was a crit. One of the nice things with this is at least I don't care about hitting weak points. I can actually shoot them. Without feeling bad afterwards.
Vital signs critical. Heavily armored hostile detected.
Turn him up, baby. Moving in from cover.
And like the trying to snapshot some heads.
Bastard deserved it. Thanks.
Them or us.
Rouges, yeah. So as you see how well this does against Rouges. No. I'm not following that
Agent
news that much.
detected.
Who was that? Or was that the
Give you cover.
guy in charge of
Moving in from cover.
the Div 3 team?
Pick up that hostile.
What the hell?
Serious trauma detected. Rogue agent eliminated.
It's actually effective against
Supply room access
weirdly enough.
unlocked.
Well, yeah. 50 people left, so you would think they would also try to get some. Was he voluntary or was he fired, actually? In the end. Because I hope for him fired, because that's better for him. better benefits. But yeah, wouldn't be too surprising if they get some people that they actually pay a lot out of there. But was he also then the name that was original? Is that guy? It was originally associated with the Div 3 kind of getting the team together. That was also,
Expected an agent to be calling somehow.
or was that somebody else? Oh, he left for a different place. Yeah, that happens all the time. Get there. Get out of the doorway. Let me in. Let's get a priority objective. Can I actually read that? No. Oh no, actually, it actually does land. Why don't they have his name in the main body of it? I can get it. I mean, yeah, they just fired 50 people, so not too surprising. Oh, was also the guy that was fronting the survivors thing? Kind of looks like that guy, right? But yeah, Division 2 is dead, confirmed. Half-Life 3 confirmed as well. Oh yeah, if you try to link, the linking isn't allowed in general. Because that likely ate the link. Because as you can imagine, it gets abused sometimes anyway. Next time we do capital, we'll get some rewards. Yeah, what was I still on? This thing.
I hope nothing comes along.
Well, not too surprising, there is some high profile. Something high profile in the mix. Honestly, I'll be much more concerned, especially for Division, if there's firings at or issues at Bucharest at this point. Like, massive, as much as I love them, yeah, they're not really leading Div 2. I mean, they're leading it, but they're not like the main body of work nowadays on Division 2. Yeah, let me actually catch up.
This is the suck, man.
I'm shooting with the hand
Control
basket.
point
Yeah.
detected.
Let me actually catch up because I feel I missed a few stuff here. I can already need. Division is dead. Long live Division. Over a bit, can get quick step for each of my characters. There are still ways, but you need people that have the bounty. which I do, for instance, here, but I don't know if you're on PC. But if you have people that still have the bounty, they can, for instance, start the bounty. This bounty still gives the event cache. The event cache has a chance of having quick step in it. Also, recently they did an winter event, and likely by the end of season event, whatever it becomes in the end, there'll likely be a way to get quick step and Lexingtons and stuff like that, I would expect. Stop. Made it way harder than it needed to be. And it's kind of a silly setup. Although this, all this really is, because this could be high end even, would likely perform better. But we're mostly using focus and then with a weapon, or well, with the hand basket. And I kind of like that combination quite a lot, trying to keep focus up. And then but here we're doing it with aces, which is not, at least it kind of aligns with this. But I wouldn't per se call this, it's not in the recommended build list, for instance. But I enjoy it here and there. One thing I like is especially that we can still shoot weak ones. So, but then for heavies and stuff, this thing sucks. Actually, I was shooting the heavy in the body because I was just gonna send that guy after him to deal with it.
Mother!
Got checked out. Oh, the sound, yeah. Oh, yeah, like a show. It's great victim. Yeah, that's the guy right from the, was gonna lead the charge on Div 3. So hopefully somebody else is now leading that charge. Yeah, that guy was there forever. No. Why not both? But yeah, we'll likely never know. Is the simple answer.
Damn, you see that shot?
Oh yeah, so if you want to, I don't know if you're currently in game, I could actually start a bounty for you and then leave the world to you. But yeah, the thing is, if I'm not there when the bounty completes, I don't lose the bounty. So one thing I can offer is to start a bounty for you, and then you can go and try and get the... But yeah, you need to... Although actually no, I have normal ones, right? Because the difficulty doesn't matter for that. So I can start a normal one for you.
Vital signs critical.
Right? We haven't done it for a few weeks.
Get away from me! No!
And then you can go do it, and hopefully you get what's it? You'll get an event cache, but it's still not every event cache will have a quick step, but no. I don't think Mazza is doing too bad for itself. I think there's still 700 large. Like, there are Stelios faring a lot worse than them. And also, they're not gonna be too horrendous. Like, even if you compare stuff, for instance, a little bit recently, kind of catching up on what's going on with the Rockstar North thing. and their firings and stuff. And yeah, that's a much more annoying situation and more fucked up. Here, even if people are getting fired or a company exists, like they're in Sweden, which at least has labor laws that, you know, aren't just for the company. The level of horrible that it can get at like their studios is a lot less than the horribleness that can happen in American studios or Chinese ones.
Reinforcements en route.
And also, yeah, at least for me, I'm much more concerned about
Hostiles
like
detected.
Bucharest. Honestly, they seem to be much more the actual thing that matters for Division 2, at least for now. As well, Division 3, you know, I'll look forward to it but I'm also not per se like instantly sold just because I like Division 2.
Let's take them by surprise.
There's still a million ways to fuck it up.
Agent, downtown east is under attack.
I'm ready for this.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
Self-solving problems.
You just want to be close to me?
But yeah, as with most things, like I don't per se care too much. We'll see what the outcome will be. The speculation is not per se worth much.
Supply room access unlocked.
Even as the recent one, remember when Ubisoft was dead because they, or well, some people even went to extremes of like they don't want to show their the numbers and stuff. Using a golem mask there. This could be a beautification item, although it would just be one stat, and that's not per se worth it. I'm using on that region a golem mask.
So damn bored.
That's not worth it, right? It's also gonna cost way too much. Because I would still record a core. Oh yeah. Also, like, yeah. No person is irreplaceable. Sometimes not replaceable by one person, but yeah, no human being is completely irreplaceable. Let's go get this as well as we go after some hyenas. Could just cheese it with bank, but nah. Oh, actually, we have hyenas over there. Let's go fight hyenas over there. We don't fight them often over there. In there. They're going. Yeah, that's all. Well, not triple, but yeah. that's what I was looking at. I already have that style of build, but yeah, PFE style here with 2-piece. Well, I was looking at this mask of like, do I want to replace it just to get one optimization less here? Yeah, sounds like a lot of work. I mean, he's gonna be executive producer on most of these projects. Keep in mind that executive producer is also like one of those roles, you know, there's multiple of them. So, yeah. But he was also the face of Survivors, right? Which is kind of odd. But that's kind of... But also, I mean, yeah, if he's been there for that long, I can even imagine from being somewhere for that long where you go like, hey, I want something new just to do something new. But also I could see DICE having some money now to spend on people and going like, hey, would you like a pretty big paycheck and then maybe help us figure out how we want to do Battlefield 7?
Target down!
It's a silly build, but actually, I kind of enjoy the playstyle of it. Just trying to just snipe. Or just in case you got eaten by ads or something, Chelsea. If you are in game right now, yeah, if you want, I can actually get you into one of those bounties. But yeah, I can just start one and then leave basically, and then you would have to go and do it yourself. But I can do a normal one, so those are pretty easy. You'll get an event cache at the end, which has a chance of having it, but I could pop a few for you if you need to. But then, yeah, if I'm not there, it doesn't complete, so that's the reason.
Another agent is now in your group.
Or is that you? Or is that you in game, Chelsea? Because I can start it and then I would just leave. But yeah, they always go over there, so you can go and do them over there. But then I'll leave the world to you because I don't want to lose my bandy there. But yeah, you can get them from there. But I would expect, yeah, Yannick to be more, yeah, executive producer, like, which is also overall a higher title. Let's keep in mind that guy was already as well like executive producer for Div 3. Okay, yeah, that was the. But anyway, you can go and there are no more. Let me know if you get one from there. If you don't, I can pop another one and you can go again. The bounty though, just watch out for the houndsman himself. He can be actually kind of a big fight.
Black test neutralized.
But yeah, it's on normal. I don't know if you fought the houndsman bounties, although likely you haven't, because otherwise you would have some. But yeah, that bounty can be
Serious trauma detected.
actually, that's not a good idea what I'm doing there. Why do you fight him? Medic? No medic.
Anything left of you?
It's interesting how it sometimes gives a white damage even though I'm getting headshot damage. Usually that icon on them is annoying for actually trying to hit the head. Didn't see the head there. Ganagazi. Actually, for that one, at least overall, I would say the master is easier, except for the 4 hunters. But that's quite at the start. But I was just matchmaking for it. Roosevelt's pretty easy. As a legendary, as far as legendaries go. Poke. And actually at full stacks, as long as vigilance is up, I have more than enough for to kill an elite with a headshot. It's kind of nice. We headhunting without headhunter.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
Well, at this range as well. I'm running ranger, of course. Oh, hi. Wait. Matt. Bye.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Clearing out!
Agent incapacitated.
Now what do we do?
Serious trauma detected.
It's in the last wave there as well. So I love how the sounds are from old version of Aces. Because nowadays when it does that like sound, like the big sound of boom, that's actually the worst buff you can get. That means you got Aces and 8, which is only 2 card flipped. But that makes the biggest sound because that was in the past the damage buff from Aces being triggered. So who's even this guy? My guy's down. Who's targeting still? I actually need to watch out. My guy is down.
Agent
That guy will still come and get me. But I won't go get my guy.
Back off! Now what do we do?
Kill everyone. Same thing we do every night, engineer. Try and kill everyone. Alright. What even?
I'm getting crowded here. Oh, hell!
Everybody happy now? No? Still one unhappy person?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
You go deal with that. I deal with it myself. It's actually kind of slow, actually, for what we're doing. But it's fine. As they say, slow and steady usually doesn't win the race, but still fun sometimes. Stop wiggling. There. Oh no, I want this.
Serious trauma detected. Reinforcement complete.
These are the wriggliest head ever. Actually, hyenas generally are kind of
Heavily armored hostile.
extra annoying. Medic, no medicing. It is kind of satisfying to just up some heads.
Moving in from cover.
Thanks. I don't know that we could have done that without you.
Can't believe this shit's happening here.
There you go. Confirm address here on other people's world
room
or
access
once I did with my
unlocked.
character, but I have to wait for reset over. Yeah, per character, yeah, if you open that box, it's once per day still. Even if you go to somebody else's world, the box will then be empty, but you can't loot it. You can only loot it once per day, basically. Even if they open it or something, there won't be any loot from it. But yeah, it's once per day per character. So really the only option you have is, yes, other characters. Extra characters. And I'm assuming you know the other rules as well, right? Of like not picking it up or deconstructing it if it's not the one you're looking for. Just to be sure. But yeah, basically at most it's 4 characters per account per day of chances. And seeing as it's like 1 in how many thousands was it? It can take a while to get lucky because you need both detox and because you can only optimize, you can't recalibrate. You need both detox and usually determined. Most people are in it for the determined. Let's go for that one. Oh, no, yeah. Yep, that sounds about right. When I'm talking about that being one of the rarest items in the game, we're not joking. Part of it is also because of that, because maximally you have 4 per day, and that's if you have no hardcores and stuff. It is one of the But yeah, if you're enjoying it, keep at it. But also, yeah, if you're not enjoying it, like, don't be aware of that. It's not like it's one of the harder ones, definitely. But that's also, you know, it'll feel good if you get it then.
Negative line of sight.
I did it for several weeks as well before I kind of got out of it. Although likely if I were to do it now, I'd just do it on normal.
Shit! I'm out!
Because I was doing it on heroic mostly just to kind of keep it engaging for myself, but I just likely would do it on normal just to get, you know, likely we could get 4 done in the time of 1 on normal. Yep. My face is on fire.
No! Opening fire!
Yeah, down in there.
What?
Let's go be over here. Moving shots are not smart. You know what is smart though? Sitting next to explosive barrel. When a grenadier is grenading towards me.
Suck on this!
I like that. That was a headshot, but that was white damage for some reason. It's also good for aim practice, actually. I say while I'm missing 7 in a row.
Target down!
Hostile detected.
They've got backup!
Don't just have backup, they have front up.
Sweet Jesus!
Yeah. Stand still for a second. Don't. Let's go clear our back here. You wiped. Well, it's not how many times you wipe, it's how many times you get back in the fight. Right. It's time to get back on the horse and yeehaw. Actually, you know what? I haven't been messing around with this with the Dread Edict match. It's actually Dread Edicted. I was like this with Dread Edict too.
Detecting additional hostile contacts.
Completely misidentified where they were coming from. Oh yeah, actually, that's the Dread Edict. Still firing at the fire rate of the breadbasket, but no, this is like true spam fire. I barely remember how what the breadbasket even did. Refills the mag on kill, I remember that.
Ha! Got him! No way!
Heavily armored hostile detected.
Ha! He's not getting up.
Yeah, definitely breadbaskets makes this a lot more usable, I feel, just because I can't really fire that. Although maybe with like smart cover or something, we could kind of fire it at RPM and land a lot of it,
See
but
that shot?
in general, I'm not gonna be hitting RPM and hitting the shots consistently.
You want to do this? Fine.
Yeah, what else did you do? Yeah, the damage component, I remember. Just so two characters and the max size, yeah. Yep, that'll happen.
Another agent has joined your group.
Went to another band here, I'm guessing.
Thanks. You're a lifesaver. Thanks again. You really saved us.
I'll wait for it to actually fully load
Supply
in.
room access unlocked.
Get this area secure.
Sometimes otherwise you won't
Supply room access
get this one.
unlocked.
But yeah, I'll pop another one. You did get event cache at the end of it, right? Chelsea? Because I haven't checked since like recently, but because we had a bad. Okay, but you didn't. Or did you also get a pistol already? I mean, I'll still leave the world to you. Wait, did I pop a heroic one or a normal one? Let me actually double check. No. Because yeah, I don't need difficulty on it. But yeah, I'll leave you to it again.
You have
No, go get our loot there. Because I don't want to be in the world when that bounty completes, because then it completes and takes it.
Enough waiting.
I have some saved up across the characters, but yeah, I'll try to keep them actually saved there. Oh, because I left that other one. Interesting that was all purples. Oh, we're caught up, right? Yeah, with this character, we're caught up to you. You know what, let's take it back to base. Let's maybe work a little bit on this, on the chant guide. There's definitely some obvious things I can write. I'll catch up here. Oh, a minute. I mean, that's usually how it goes. It's just, it cascades suddenly. Really? I feel Roosevelt is overall pretty simple. Like DOA definitely is easier overall, mostly because a lot of people know it.
Glad we got that settled.
Roosevelt, except for the boss fight, isn't anything special, I feel. Although yeah, it kind of depends on the team as well, because yeah, you can definitely, it's a little bit more open, so people can get spread out and get murdered one by one. by everybody fighting just one-on-ones instead of fighting as a team.
Your business is appreciated.
Let's actually do some writing here. So, if you have a team, actually, likely the master is easier overall, I would say. You can always do that too. That counts for the weekly. So last time on writing this guide, we made this whole thing, which I'm happy with how it turned out. Basically a whole, these are all the skills in here, but yeah, we haven't really written anything about skills yet. And then also, yeah, Nemesis skills. So let's start. Within the scent, each player will the same to load out. Oh no, skill slots. We normally would have. There is a smaller selection of skills that are available, mostly missing the specialization skills and some skills that likely would have been overpowered if included. The start of, actually with weapons we've already
Purification tablets will be restricted until further notice. Please boil your water for at least 1 minute before consumption.
actually we should have this same kind of repeating here. So usually we can go at loop 1 you get to pick and a skill, and from loop 2 onwards you pick either a skill or a weapon. And we can just have this be kind of same. Your skills. At loop 1 you get to pick a weapon and a skill. A skill or a weapon. Yeah. Actually, we can just do that. The skills available are listed below, together with how they fare against the Nemesis fight. Capitalize. And how they perform in general, especially for beyond Nemesis. There is that distinction as the Nemesis will copy Nemesis's skills will depend on what each player picks, with some skills becoming that same skill for Nemesis, some skills becoming something similar but not exact same skill. And lastly, some skills will give the Nemesis a random skill. In general, it is advisable to pick any of the fireflies, or actually any of the sticky bombs, fireflies, or the fire or from camp. Of those, Nemesis. Of those, foam and blinder firefly are very useful against the Nemesis. And fire chem is a great tool for dealing with normal waves. But all these turn into either non-deadly skills for the Nemesis, or are easily avoidable. For instance, all fireflies turn into blinder if picked.
Physical and verbal violence inside the perimeter will not be tolerated. Violators risk permanent expulsion from the secure area.
Consult the list below for further options and recommendations. The colors indicate useful they are firstly for nemesis / pre-nema and the second section about in general or beyond nemesis. As once you have fought the nemesis, you will not encounter them again, meaning you can pick whatever that's where the H goes in whatever pick whatever skills you wish, although for deeper runs the go-to is to have a revive hive together with something that can either CC or distract. Let's write out crowd control. The section needs some rewriting, but rewriting will leave for the go is no go to. Why are you correcting me there? There. We'll make it like that. Yeah, and then the list. And then the list was good already. Yeah, let's write this as well. And now we go. Shoot the shit. Shit the shoot. What is this? Okay. That's okay. Yeah, sorry. By the way, I'm not paying attention to Discord too much usually. I do have it open usually, but I don't see it that often. Was that earlier or was that nowish? Oh, that's way early. I wasn't per se showing the build, but I was running aces there earlier. Don't make this. This is not a good build. It's kind of enjoyable, but honestly, you could have hotshot 4-piece with what I was doing there, honestly. Although hotshot, you would lose the bonus. You could likely go high end. Might be actually interesting to make a high end for this. But yeah. Now I recommend the world make something more like this or something. Coco is much more useful. But yeah, we're more in writing guides at the current time. Yeah, so start of the loop shop. At the start of each loop, there is a shop in the starting room that sells slots, both for talents and grenades slash med talents, comma grenades and med packs. I choose handguns and hand grenades. What was the thing? Talents, grenades, and I'm just gonna call them med kits. And med kits. And can buy upgrades to your ammo amount and unlock the fourth big slot for skills and weapons. Especially unlocking slots for more talents is important to have. Okay, let's go a little bit deeper into the White House so this lady stops yapping in our ear. Translation, you look for Envy and Wrath. Envy especially. Envy is like one of the more powerful ones. Some people like slots for deep runs. I can see the power. But that's only really for deep runs. And especially 4-man. You kind of need it. 4-man deep runs. But overall, Envy is the most powerful, especially because it has a lot of good reds and yellows. And then Wrath is kind of fine as well, especially if you're not going too deep. But Wrath loses out to Envy post 30 especially. To have and is what I go for first, depending on rotation. The red slots and maybe a few yellows early. While considering med pack slots for the Nemesis fight and some ammo. Generally, I do not pick the. Let's make this capitalized already. Generally, I do not pick the extra weapon, extra skill choice until we have most slots, and the grenade option can be avoided all the way till last. Or even not. The last, if we go deeper, if we go to deeper loops. This is paid for with the descent run credits, the temporary currency that only exists for that run. I should pay this like that. That's about it, right? And also want to say about the start of loop shop, not per se. Let's go do some shooting. Let's go mod some stuff. We'll come back to that, but yeah, we'll just keep writing at it until it is done. Honestly, yeah, kind of. This section is gonna take some while to write because we're gonna kind of discuss the flow of a run, and then also for permanent unlocks, I still need to find somebody to provide me with screenshots. Let's go to character tree actually. Yeah. So honestly, we're most of the way through the first draft, but then that's the thing. Once the first draft is in, it basically takes a bunch of time to kind of go through it again and kind of refine and stuff. But it's looking better and better and better, so let me already actually quickly check here a thing, or later on we go in because likely here I'll go another half hour. I want to have a little bit of time to edit that video together that we recorded earlier. I want it to become today's video, so I'll go and try to stitch it together, give it a thumbnail, timestamp everything, and get it up to hit 6 o'clock. But here, yeah, let's go do the same thing. We'll go and get a this character caught up onto these projects. So I need some hyenas. Wait, is this character on day one? Wasn't hyenas? So I should do it the quicker way. Let's do some cheesing. Is that day one? I don't remember which was day one. Or is it day 4? But no, I haven't played this account yesterday, so can't be day 4, right? Can it? Dun dun dun. I think I want to specifically run. Not particularly. Just run Striker Dick Tank. Briefly gonna check if Snitch Boy is here for an extra Banny in this zone. Nope. They want to spawn. Well, now let's go cheese it by doing normal bank, and we just fight the. The one guy. You should not be accompanying me because you might kill everybody else.
You're gonna need to get the access codes to the vault to recover the item the hyena stole from Air Force
I
One.
don't have control
Our
over who
insider
dies.
says whoever's posted in the old CEO's office will have a key card that should give you access to the vault.
That will give me vault to the access.
They're on their way here. You fuck.
And only tomorrow I'll be away the whole day. So, no stream tomorrow. But later on, yeah, I'll be back in the evening, of course. I'm kind of considering actually recording something there as well. We'll see how I feel about that when we get closer to this evening. Because we still have the yellow stats to go. We kind of... Oh, you're still set up as this. Wasn't expecting that to be the shield that came out. It's kind of... Honestly, not what I even want for this. Maybe we reload the build.
Gonna fill you for the holes.
Yeah, let's actually just be some normal Striker Dick Tank. We don't need a bulwark for normal enemies. But yeah, what we can abuse here is the simple thing that it just wants us to kill a named. So what I'm gonna do here
Come here, asshole.
is kill a named. Could have grabbed something that was a little more likely to die.
Check up for the key card.
And then, yeah, we should grab some red build.
They're out of cover.
Can also grenade myself. It doesn't help too much here anyway. All right.
Agent deceased.
Yeah, we killed the name. We died. Oh no. But here's a checkpoint. Yeah, let's just grab this. Maybe there's a fire sticky.
Serious trauma
A little
detected.
too early. Didn't need to actually watch it for nothing.
Agent vital signs 0.
And it is she deck. They just went through so like a natural window. I mean, that's not that surprising. That's the expectation. More damage is actually kind of the way to deal with legendaries, honestly.
Checking for the key card.
It's 2 nades.
Agent vital signs 0.
But yeah, my week has been pretty good. Thanks for asking. And yeah, we're at the Friday. Everybody's enjoying their Friday so far. For me, it's kind of a relaxed day as I'll be working tomorrow, so yeah, making it kind of simple for myself.
Checking for the key card.
I did not check in for the keycard. Oops.
Signs 0.
Yeah, I think they were on legendary. Talking about it earlier. And it's our 4th one. Actually, also.
Hey, looks like that key card is the one we were looking for. Checking for
Yep, totally looking for her. Be realizing. Yeah, that mission also doesn't per se need a Palmer too much, just because it is a little bit more wide. But yeah, still, with a foamer and 3 damage dealers, it's usually even more powerful. Treasons. Oh yeah, so this character just hadn't done any days yet. Okay, that's fine. Well, let's go get him caught up. We'll go in. Or maybe they had only done day 1 then? This might be a good test place for the Coco Tech tank. We'll have the guy out. We're at least getting enough kills. We'll just avoid having any directives there.
you to secure the memorial and remove the
And yeah,
True Sons
Lincoln
forces.
has 4 bosses
They
by
maintain this
itself.
outpost. The True Sons will be direct
Could just have
from the
done
campus.
normal as well. Because we still get 4 names.
Hostiles carrying a... Throwing grenade! Now you'll think... Get up!
We've got a
That's a good spot for a turret.
No!
Right now.
Got a visual on additional hostiles in the memorial compound. They're moving south. There's a gate between you.
We have some
It looks
stacks.
closed from here.
Yeah, this really only works for
Find a way to
missions
open that
because,
gate.
yeah, there's just not enough to kill in other places. Actually, yeah. This area. Well, usually if you have 2, even 2 decent players, that's enough to get through a legendary
Is there a medical...
in a 4-man.
What the hell?
And the rest then gets carried. But yeah, if you sometimes land the lucky, you know, everybody's kind of good deal, then
I can't see a damn thing!
this is, the legendaries, especially with modern modifiers and modern grading and also modern builds. Not that hard. Mostly one of the reasons I don't play them as much is that they're a lot more rigid, and because of that, seeing as they're not per se that much harder, they're not that enjoyable. Because actually the randomness on just heroic missions is higher. Weirdly enough.
Stop me. They're almost. Let's see. Grenade! I'm blind.
Nailed the bastard.
So much for this armor.
Let me kill you.
Command. We lost one.
Oh, one escaped. She's still there, yeah.
Damn, you see that shot?
All clear. I repeat, the compound is all clear.
No, that can't be all of them. Check the interior while I get Henry's people to maintain the perimeter.
And I'm just using tactics against the boss to make them try to melee me. While they're doing that, they're kind of... I can just focus other stuff. I mean, with good players, you don't need to. Because you adapt to each other. You just see like, okay, they're going over here, so they'll likely shoot this, so I should shoot this. Take time so larger. Using group 4. Not person. I mean, viable depends on viable. Because viable most of the times also means, especially in, in that kind of gun, then you just get carried by the rest. I've been meaning to mess around with PFE. 3-piece imminence armaments, 3-piece improvised on the improvised slots, basically. And then yeah, PFE, bulwark, and Tempest.
Damn it. The Truces have turned
Partially
the
to see as well how
An
well
area
the,
beneath you with increased
or
security.
if you like,
Isaac can't access
we can
data
do
on this
enough
location. Stay alert.
to
You know what you're
make,
walking into.
or like if the increased threat is kind of effective. But the thing is, something like that would, even if it even worked decently well and did the okay damage and could kind of keep the threat on it, a foam eclipse would still be nicer for the team, but you want to just shake it up. Then and enjoy adulting. Likely, yeah, we'll catch this character up, and then I'm gonna go do my version of adulting, which is actually doing some YouTube work and stuff. Getting the next video up. And I've been thinking of maybe getting things and stuff together indeed. For maybe soonish. Yeah, we haven't done one in that series for forever. And I keep kind of... Every time we go back to that series, I go like, I really like doing this, and I really do as well. But I should do this more often, and then 6 months later.
Danger close. Gotta attack from the side. Capacitating target.
What else do I actually have? That, the retaliation only tips. We're gonna make a guide as well, but that's gonna be likely somewhat in the future.
Nailed the bastard.
Struggling to get over half stacks, which is, yeah, that's why tech tanks don't work with this. Even just having a drone or something helps quite a bit. Partially, this guy is also not that useful. Because I'm just killing too fast still. But it's fine. We're done. Well, so my plan with that one is going to be Adrenaline Rush Intimidate, which is something I use a lot on PFEs.
According to the schematics Isaac pulled upstairs, we can lock that tunnel door from their control center.
I don't think Protector would be worth it. Vigilance. Actually, Vigilance Obliterate could also work. But well, the plan is going to be close to enemies anyway, so I feel Adrenaline Rush Intimidate is going to be the fix. But likely I'm going to keep it 4 blue, not go 6 blue with it. I'll go 4 blue and Technician.
Get away from me!
No way!
Maybe even 3 blue and Technician. So that would likely be tanky enough already. Actually, with the Technician there, we can also go. We can go Artificer.
That should keep them from getting more of those mortars.
Well, the Firewall would be nice too. Although Firewall without the Striker Shield and just the proximity is not going to be worth it. So yeah, likely actually we go. As an option, Survivalist for the PFE as well. Especially Intimidate Adrenaline Rush. Adrenaline Rush is also pretty good when you're close to the enemy. Like refreshing every 5 seconds, like 5 seconds isn't super short. Like it's not like it pops up constantly, but yeah, especially if you have 3 enemies within your vicinity, 60% every 5 seconds. It's still decent. This guy's waypoint being kind of like behind everybody is always annoying.
Good work. Go on ahead back up. The team from the campus is taking position inside the memorial.
Now this thing in group settings though, it kind of works, but I don't end up using tech tanks too much in group settings. Although for missions and stuff, or for bounties and stuff, or open world stuff, I don't mind being a tech tank.
Today, we dealt a great
But it
blow
just
to the
doesn't work
True
out
Structure.
by
We
itself.
confiscated a massive cache of chemical weapons and eliminated the stronghold near the campus. You should be
Oh, they
proud.
were actually,
You
yeah.
saved a lot of
So
lives
that was
today.
day 1 then. Still. Okay, some outcasts. Let's quickly go get some outcasts. Let's actually. Oh. This bandy's gonna be the quickest. And actually, do you have any randoms? I see they have a random daily there. Need to clean that up actually at some point. Oh yeah, let's just go do. Is there an, was there an early boss somewhere for outcasts? Don't remember. Yeah, although while there, it also had the shield had aggro. That was a big differentiator there. Well, let's go actually chest striker on the striker. Kind of forgot about this variant, honestly. That this kind of exists, of course. Oh, the stuff on this is different. Yeah, let's actually make this that, because it should be that as well. It should have at least a clear chance. This guy just shooting the ground. Although the thing with this is then we really do need to ACS that.
Fuck this! They're in here!
Screw that loot. Manning is way too long. Oh, with the early boss? Oh yeah, actually yeah. Yes, Manning. But even that is longer than... Oh no, that's about the length of... Yeah, that's about the length of Bank anyway, right? That would be the earliest boss, yeah. So we could do that one for normal. On normal and then wipe and do it again. It's annoying, but he's also just second wave, or well, there's a few more waves for him. He's like fourth wave. He's preferably you want second wave or something like that. There's also Manning, like if you just do it all the way, it has all the bosses. Or enough bosses. Do you need the secret boss for 5? Or 4? No, that's 5, right? Yeah, we need the ACS stack. This feels weaker than the Blitz rate one.
That's the target agent.
Efficient bastard! Shit! No!
This is definitely 4.
Target neutralized.
True Sons. Although I wonder, I'm not sure where the checkpoint for that one is.
Target. Nice.
Capital has.
Hostile explosive trap detected.
Has
Serious trauma detected.
Target neutralized. Good work.
and at 3 stacks lost per
Another one
second
down.
goes
Good
quick.
job, Agent.
Everything. You know what? Let's see if we get lucky and we get a random one here. Yeah. Although likely that one's kind of on the back burner for, or has been already for a while. So, well, it might be an interesting one to try. No. Especially with some of these bounties, especially seeing as we just need one. Let's just go for assaulting this control point. The annoying thing is with those named groups, at least. Because next we need True Sons again, right? Yeah. Yeah, let's go. Poke these eyes out. Actually, Overgrowth would have been faster, but there was a convoy coming out of it, so I just noped out. Some extra stuff here.
Get back! Good God!
Could put a rock and roll on this. That might help.
Got him!
Immediate medical assistance needed.
I was gonna
Agent
say.
incapacitated.
He's gonna get me. See if this guy can get me.
Getting crowded here!
That extra patrol, very annoying.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
Well, yeah, luckily these guys have their own CC. Engineer man, could you get out of my way?
Get
Maybe
away from me!
shoot people here.
Now what do we do?
I want to murder you so bad. Yo, asshole. Go away. Just for that, here.
What a shit show!
I was a dick that entire fight. Shooting me in the back the whole time. How much extra stuff is here? Just 7 extra patrols. A little bit of war crimes, it's fine. They're super powerful. The True Sons elites turrets are in general a little bugged right now. Hopefully they'll get fixed, but
Civilians in danger.
for the time being you need to watch out for them quite a lot. But that's everywhere, that's not just in Retaliation. You'll meet more of them in Retaliation. But because you see a lot of elites there, but that doesn't yeah, this character was just on day 1 apparently. Wasn't my intention. But yeah, let's get them all the way caught up because then I can forget about them and then only character 4 is still behind. Hyenas again. Do we go for cheese? Let's just go for cheese. Oh, this might actually still... Nah, we've been long enough. 15 minutes, right? It holds the checkpoint if you do it within 15 minutes. But nah, with all the other things we did. We'll go in with
You're
normal
gonna need to
again.
get the access codes to the vault to recover the item the hyena
Can
stole
go
from Air
away
Force
again.
One. Our hyena insider says whoever's posted in the old CEO's
Let's actually
office
run this
will
up
have a
to
key card that should give you access to
the
the
boss
vault.
fight. Second 612 is because of Lefty. But whenever that came true. Because we got 612 when Scorpio was added and the 612 was added. But then the Lefty originally came in and had the model of the 612. So they gave us a second 612 blueprint. Kind of sucks because we should actually have an ACS blueprint. Which is much more of a useful blueprint. I need the facts. And yeah, doing pretty good. Kind of catching up here. We already recorded some stuff. We're kind of did some guide writing. Here I'm catching some of the characters up to the point that we are now with those project chain. Just to get all the juicy exotic components. Just squeezing out all of them. So I should go with this. And then fire sticky. So I was thinking of a restaurant, but then stacks. There's a lot of elites, so yeah, definitely you want like headhunting can work in there, but only against certain factions because there's also going to be quite often you might have a wave that's not uncommon in there. The second defense wave when it spawns basically is just going to be one archetype. For most of it, and that can be heavies. So you might face 3 heavies in a row. And then maybe the named is also heavy, and then you face 4 heavies in a row.
Checking for the key card.
So
Agent killed.
I would say retaliation is not per se the domain of headhunting, except against maybe Outcast. Also because of just how many elites there are and stuff. I generally go in with a tech tank if you're familiar with those for solo. But also scaling wise, because of the way the scaling is kind of set up, I would say it's easier in a group setting, honestly. Preferably the
Agent killed.
It's locked as well. That could be because it could be the same. Yeah, actually that's likely. Yeah, I'm guessing that discussion happened on the Discord. Because yeah, I sent somebody to the Discord to like maybe ping you. Because they had some questions about blueprints, and I'm also not too certain about the locked ones and stuff because
Serious trauma detected.
it died too early. We need to die after. But the reason I'm doing this guy on normal because yeah, we just need hyena names. It doesn't matter what difficulty, it doesn't matter where and stuff. So in this mission, when I kill this named, then that is one. And then of course, if I die, we get put back at the checkpoint right before this.
Checking for the key card.
And we can kill him again.
Agent vital sign.
Making this kind of cheesable if you want to. And here, just to do it a little quick, because I want to round out the stream. But also I want to kind of get this character cut up. Then we can forget about him for a while.
Checking for the key card.
Agent deceased.
That got us the 4, and then especially I already have the outfit, but especially want the exotic componente. But especially with some of the tech tanks solo, it's not too hard.
Low prices?
But you do have to, in that game mode, play it a little safer. It's about survival more than about, like, for instance, out here as well with some of these, I'm kind of fine, especially on full reds and stuff, of like doing activities with them. But then, you know, if I die, fine. Like, we lost one activity is worth of time. But in there, of course, if you die, you either lose quite a bit of time, and that can cost you the run, but or if you do it after having flared, yeah, you just lose the run. Let's put this character back on there. On an OD or something. But yeah, let's we'll round out. Let's see some. Okay. They do actually correctly mark everything like that. Hey, Yeah. So I might say that, and wouldn't surprise me actually. Did we also have a blueprint for the M1A SOCOM? Although I think that's just a singular one, right? Which is because we also got, back then they would give us the blueprints. Like if they gave us a named weapon, then they would, if we didn't have the blueprint for it, they would also give us the normal blueprint for it. Or no, actually, with the lefty and stuff, like we got that blueprint instead of the lefty for the longest of time, right? And then they fixed the lefty and stage left way later that we still got them. That was a mess. But yeah, let's go raid out. Let's go see who is available for some awesome raiding. Oh yeah, well, I think we'll go that route. Yeah, let's go raid Danny, who we haven't raided in a while. Mostly because I'm not usually around at this time, so we'll go raid out that way. I'll be back in the evening, and depending on how we feel in the evening, I'm gonna either record maybe the I'm gonna record either the yellow things, or we'll just work on the scent one. We get showing some of these flashbacks here. It's not locked. Okay. It's weird that one is and isn't. Because SOCOM 101A was also... Or... No, we didn't have the blueprint for it before, I think. So that came in with that same season, most likely. Get blueprints for the attachments and stuff. Overall, yes, you can do well, heroic and challenging ones work. If you really just want to get the blueprints for the attachments real quick, doing them on challenging just because it's a little quicker. But yeah, doing them on heroic, you get more loot and more, more stuff. Another thing to get done is more so if you just want to have some variety. Any of the invaded missions on the first clear gives a blueprint. So doing some of those just to do them. And then also the weekly projects give blueprints as well. Like it doesn't list them here for me anymore because I have them all, but for you it will list them here if you're still getting from that blueprint pool. So you can do like the weekly and stuff and the invaded, but it's only the first clear. So the very first time on a week per character that you do the invaded missions, you get a blueprint there. But yeah, just farming control points. And because of that, retaliation as well. For retaliation, you get your blueprints in there, of course, when you're doing the control points. So retaliation can be good. And then you can also get the other blueprints along the way nowadays. Yeah, we'll send everybody off. And yeah, I'll be back in the evening. That's going to be in a while. And also likely in an hour and a bit, we'll have the video go up for, that we just recorded for this season's modifier, the only tips. Yeah, let's just send everybody off. We'll wait for that timer. And then I'll just say thank you all for joining me. Everybody on the Twitch end, enjoy Danny. You YouTube people, I can't do anything against you. You guys are free to do whatever you wish. Hope to catch you all in the future. And as always, have a good day.